Let's imagine we have these three servers like this. Okay. So these are all EC2 instances. These are all EC2 instances. So every EC2 instance will have its own root volume, correct? Every EC2 instance will have its own root volume. That's correct. Okay. So, okay, let me put this also. So this is a root volume. Good. Okay. Now, if I go ahead and then log into this EC2 instance, if I go ahead and log into this EC2 instance, what I do, guys, I will be inside this root volume, correct? Inside the C drive. Desktop will be in the C drive only, no? So I'll be inside this root volume. So now, if I put any files in the C drive, or if I put any files in the EC2 instance, the same file can be available in the other EC2 instance? No, that is no. So what if we need to have that kind of system? Then guys, we have the concept here that is called EFS. What is it called? EFS, Elastic File System. Write down. Elastic File System. So Elastic File System, what you do, you can create this EFS, and then what you need to do is, guys, you need to mount this EFS to this EC2 instances. What you need to do? You need to mount. Let me. So we need to mount this EFS to the EC2 instances. Mount, you know very well. So mount is nothing but it's like attaching it. So we just go ahead and then mount it. Like the same EC2 in the same EFS, we need to go ahead and then mount it to EC2 instances like this. Okay, now you tell me. So I have mounted this. Now I have logged into this EC2 instance, and now I go instead of root. This is the mount point, right? Mount. So I go inside that mount and I try to create some files. If I create some files in this mount, let's say ABC, something like this, some data, so that ABC will be stored centrally in this here in EFS. So as the same EFS is mounting to another EC2 instances, so the same data will be available everywhere in this mount point. So like this, we can share the storage from one EC2 instance to another EC2 instance using this EFS. Getting it? So this EFS, so I can have this EC2 instance in 1A, this EC2 instance in 1B, this EC2 instance in 1C. So this EFS can be uh, this EFS can be shared across availability zones. Correct? There is a question. Can we also share from root? Is it possible to share from root? Definitely no. There is no, that's what I said. Root is a volume here, but this is not a volume, this is a mount point. And another one important thing, this EFS is completely managed by AWS. We don't need to do anything. So you just need to go ahead and then click on create EFS, and EFS will be created, and start mounting that EFS to the EC2 instances. That's it. The high availability, scalability, maintenance, etc. of EFS is completely managed by AWS. And also another important thing. So guys, generally we use the word called mount. Generally, this mount word is used in which operating system? Linux, correct? So this EFS works only for the Linux EC2 instances. EFS works only on the for the Linux EC2 instances. Okay, getting it? Because it is same like in your company. In your company, you have the file server, no? Yes or no, guys? In your company, you have the file servers, no? So that meaning, if let's say, if I want to share one file to all of you, so is it good that I share to one by one individually to everyone, all 100 people, all 200 people, 150 people here? No. What I do, I create a server and I put all the files there, and I'll start sharing to everyone. Correct? That is called file server. So remember NFS, network file system, like NFS? Yes. The same thing here also. And also it uses this NFS protocol only. So what is the protocol that uses by this EFS? That is NFS version 4 protocol. What protocol, everyone? NFS version 4. Let me write all these things. EFS is completely managed by AWS. EFS is completely managed by AWS. EFS is for which operating system? EFS is only for Linux EC2 instances. Then you might have a question, so how about Windows? There is another service called FSX. What is that? FSX is for Windows EC2 instances. Write down for Windows EC2 instances, what is the service that you can use, like this shared one, the file server and all? FSX. And then EFS, there's no full form for it, that's only FSX. EFS works with NFS version 4 protocol. NFS version 4 protocol. So S3 is what based storage? S3. Object based storage. EBS is what based storage? Block based storage. And this one, EFS is yes, file based storage. File based storage. And then EFS is unlimited storage. It's an unlimited storage. And then for this EFS, do we need to require to pre-provision any size like 50 GB, 100 GB? No. So it will automatically, right? It will automatically increase or decrease based on the data that you put it. EFS doesn't require any pre-provisioning. It will automatically increase and decrease based on the data you put in EFS. That is protocol, Suresh. So, question for you guys. EFS can be mounted to multiple EC2 instances. EFS can be mounted to multiple EC2 instances at the same time across availability zones. Make sense? Is it clear, everyone, on the EFS? CC? Fantastic. Okay. Arey Babu, your spellings, there will be some typos. Okay. Yes. But here you can do anything. It's just like a mount point, right? Okay. You can do anything. So it is like common database. No. Why you are getting database concepts here? It's not database. It's a common storage. Simple. It's like NFS, a network attached storage. Can we mount EFS to root volume instead of additional volume? You can mount it anywhere. You can create the directory. First of all, you need to create the directory. You need to create a directory, no? First of all, Srikant. Srikant, are you my old student or new to this batch? I see. Okay. So this one here, first you need to create a directory, and to that directory you need to mount it. That is actually mount how we need to mount it. Okay, but how to mount it and all we'll see. But don't think that the root volume can be shared. No, you create a directory, and for that directory you mount this EFS. So you go inside the directory and then put the data, and automatically that will push into the EFS. But if you put any data not into that, okay, let's say, see, you are in desktop, CD desktop. So here you need to create a MKDR, you create a something called test. Okay. And then you mount this EFS to this test. Then if you go inside this test, then put all the data here, you'll go into AWS, it will go into the EFS. But if you don't go into this test and you create any files of any other directory, it will be sitting in the root only. You have to be inside that. So these are all things we'll see in that when we go deeper into EFS. Sir, EFS and FX are for Linux and Windows. What for Mac OS? Wow. Sorry. What Mac OS uses what operating system? So Linux only, no? Based. So it's Linux only in the backend. What is the difference between S3 and EFS? There's a lot of difference. S3 is only to just store the files, but can you can store any kind of files and mount it to the Linux EC2 instance. You can run the files. You can do whatever you want there. Can we install DB on EFS? Of course, yes. Guys, it's just a mount point. You can do anything. Okay, but see, can you install DB on your pen drive? No. It's a mount point, right? It is used for storing purpose. So once you detach that mount point, if you are installing DB on it, will it be there? No. Installations, everything will be happening in the root, in the hard disk only. No, this is just a mount point to share the data, to share the storage. Yes, correct. Okay, na? Nice. So now there is another service called Snow Family. Right? Doc? What is that? Snow Family. So guys, don't think Snow Family meaning not that family. Okay, it's not Manchu family. So just imagine. So if you have a huge data, you have a huge data on your on premises, on your servers. You have a huge data on your on premises. Okay, and then you want to move your lots of data to S3. So is it possible for you to upload 1 TB, 2 TB of data to S3 with your with the AWS console with your internet? No, it will say the bang, right? So it will not work. So everything will get, your network will get choked. It will take a lot of time. So instead of you transferring the data online to the internet, so what you can do is you can order some devices from AWS to your place. So you can.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
What happened, Babu? So guys, that's AWS. So we can order some devices to the AWS. So you can say that there are mainly 3 types of devices from AWS. That is called Snowcone, which supports 8 TB, and we have Snow Edge, which supports 100 TB. There is something called Snow Mobile, which supports petabytes. So we have 3 devices, right? So guys, if you have a requirement of less than 8 TB, you can order Snowcone, right? So AWS will send you the Snowcone. Guys, that it is just a name. It looks like a big hard disk. That's it. It looks like a suitcase. It looks like a suitcase. It looks like a big server. Okay, like hard disk, big server. So they'll send you that Snowcone or Snow Edge based on the size. You need to just go and order it, and that device will come to your place. You take that device to your place, connect directly to your server, push all the data to Snowcone and send it back to AWS. And the AWS, what it does, it will put all this data into S3. From S3, you can take it to anywhere. So it's a physical transfer. Okay. So Snow family is used to transfer huge data from on-prem to AWS and vice versa. Okay. So Snow family is a physical data transfer using devices. Okay. Petabytes. Understand, guys? So it's a physical device. And I'm telling you one thing, guys. 99.99% will do all the practicals, but there might be few services and few features where we cannot do the practicals, like this one of this. Is it possible for us to do these practicals for the Snow family? No. Okay. Got it? Is this clear in the Snow family? Guys, is this clear? Nice. Yes, there will be an agent inside it, and then you will use that agent and then start sending the data. That's our older name of this snowball. Yes, they will push it to S3, and then from there you can take it to anywhere, to EC2 or anywhere. Sriram. Okay. Can we reuse it once? So it is just like the you get it. Uh, uh, you get the snow that you get this device. You put that data and send it back. It is not yours. Okay. Babu, it's not yours. You're getting it for rent. You're getting it and then you're temporarily taking that, putting all that and send it back to AWS. He will not send back to you. Okay. You guys are too much excited, huh? Okay. See. Do you see this? Okay. This is a snow cone. Snow white snow cones look similar, but the only thing is it will be little bit in the size it will be it takes more terabytes. Okay, it will be like this. And Snow Mobile is just like this. Okay, there will be a big lorry will come to you like this. There will be so it looks if you have a huge petabytes of data, then AWS will send you this lorry with a big container to your data center. Take it and then put all your data here, connect it, put your data, push it, and then send this lorry back. So you are asking like question like, sir, can I keep this lorry? You cannot keep this lorry. Okay. Sir, can I go this? Can I use this lorry to my personal things? Can I reuse it? No, you cannot reuse it. He'll go back. Okay, na? Let's come back. Ah, why you guys are not leaving this free concept? Huh? Nothing will free. Security will be there for feel only, sir. For feel only, sir. What feel? I didn't understand that question, but yeah. So what about security? Yes, they have a encryptions will be there. So it's not possible to tamper it also. So many level of encryptions, standard security will be there on it. Okay. Okay. Let's not go more time on that. Yeah. So guys, and then no, Srikanth. So guys, next one is, let's say for example, okay, the Sai Kumar is asking, sir, how much place they have, how are they storing, how are they doing it? Is that our job? It doesn't matter for us. So that's the reason, no? That's a reason, no? They are the market leaders and they handles everything. So we no need to care and worry about that. Okay. So guys, here, next one here is, let's say you have so much of data, which, let's say, for example, you have so many photos, guys. And your guys, if I ask photos, can you tell me which service do you recommend to store the photos? S3. Okay, S3. So you have from photos, this year photos. Okay, let's say now frequently used photos, you will use it. So guys, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old photos, will you use it frequently? No. So if you are not using it frequently, what do we do generally? What we do? If you're not accessing data frequently, what we do? We will zip it and then we'll archive it, correct? We'll keep it aside. So here also, so if instead of putting all your data in S3 and you're not using it frequently, so unnecessarily you need to pay the money for there, right? So instead of that, there is a service called Glacier. What is that? Glacier. So whichever files or objects that you don't need, so you can archive it here in Glacier. You can archive it in Glacier. And it's obviously cheaper than S3. So if you are sure that you are not using it and you don't want to use it frequently, then why to pay? Let's say, for example, for 100 terabytes, you are using 10 rupees, for example, and you are not using that data every day. So why you want to keep 10 rupees for this 100 terabytes? So push it to the Glacier and pay only 4 rupees or 5 rupees or 3 rupees. And whenever you need, you can get the data if required. That is Glacier. So remember, if at all you get any question on what is the service used for archiving purpose, then you should say it is Glacier. Okay. Next. So guys, listen this carefully. This is your on-premises. This is your on-premises. So in your on-premises, you have so many servers and storage, everything, right? In your on-premises, you might be having so many servers, desktops, servers, etc., etc., etc. You'll buy so many things, no? And parallel, you will have some storage also, no, guys? Some storage, yes or no? Let's say, for example, you have a storage of 2 terabytes only, 2 TB only. So everyone will push the data into this storage 2 terabytes, thinking that they have backed up their data, correct? Right? This 2 terabytes is sufficient? No. You will get for 5, 10, 15, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So you will keep on increasing this storage. And if you want to take the backup of the storage, again, you need that much storage, right? In order to take the backup of 2 terabyte, you need again 2 terabytes of size. So you have a size capacity problems here. All your data are pushing it to the limited storage here. So how it would be on AWS, we have like this. Can you tell me, guys, in AWS, what are the storage services that we have learned? We have learned S3, we have learned EBS, that meaning volumes, and then we have learned Glacier. Okay, so we have this thing. So, guys, how it would be? How do you feel if you are mounting S3 bucket to your on-premises server? S3 unlimited bucket to your on-premises server? How it would be if you are mounting EBS to your on-premises server? How would it be if you are mounting Glacier to your on-premises server? Superb, no? Guys, instead of storing your entire data here in your on-premises, right? So you are mounting this S3 bucket to your on-premises and putting all your data to S3. So, and you don't have any issues, right? And how you are using your private storage and then AWS public storage. What is this combination called? Hybrid storage. So if you need this hybrid storage, there is a service called Storage Gateway. What is that? Storage Gateway. So you need to set up that storage gateway here in our on-premises, and then you can start sending the data to S3 EBS Glacier from your on-premises to AWS, right? So this concept can be done using storage gateway. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Nice. Okay. So, guys, next one, let's jump on to the next important thing, which is called database services. So, what's wrong? So, guys, you just need to understand only the topic. No need to go deeper because we have a separate classes for each and every service. So, what do you need to repeat here? Tell me where you didn't understood. Prakash, Uday, Andres, Ansari, where exactly you lost it? Babu, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay, Prakash, Uday, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Don't get habituated with that. It's not good. Okay, whichever is required, we'll write. So it's not. You have to behave like professionals, not school kids. See here, this is on premises. That's what I'd say. See, this is on premises, and inside this, let's say I have this server. Let's take. I'll only have one. I'll take one server. On AWS side, we have. Let's take S3. Okay, so I want S3 bucket to get mounted here in my machine as a mount point. So when I go into that machine, I'll put the data in this mount point. Automatically, the same data will be available here in S3. Instead of me sending it to my on-premises storage, which is very limited, which is some 2 terabyte. So do I need to worry? So if I mount this S3 to my server here, do I need to worry about my storage of on-premises? No. So how generally can you mount S3 bucket to anywhere, to the EC2 instance or anywhere? Generally, no. So this S3 bucket now we are able to mount to on-premises using what? Using storage gateway. So there is a gateway, right? So it's called storage gateway. So once we set up the storage gateway, this will be the mediator between your on-premises to AWS. So you can send the data and get the data through storage gateway. That is a concept. Understood now? The same thing I have repeated, but the only concentration you have missed. That's the only difference. Okay. So now database services. So guys, does anyone worked on the databases? Any DBS, database administrators? Okay. So imagine here we have a physical server. This is a physical server. On this physical server, I have set up a database. Let's say, for example, SQL server, right? Which has 8 GB RAM. Okay. This is on premises. This is on premises. So, guys, we all know RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, correct? So you might have learned in your academics, RDBMS databases, relational databases. Okay. So guys, let's say for example, if you're handling the databases by yourself on a physical server on premises. So guys, handling these databases is easy or difficult? Handling database servers is easy or difficult? It is difficult. Generally, can you tell me what kind of problems that you get while if you're handling the databases servers? Guys, is it easy to go and set up your high availability? No. Is it easy to go and set up elasticity, scalability issues? What issues? Performance issues, DB crash, backup issues, restoration issues, upgrade issues, storage issues, replication issues, mirroring issues, mm, migration issues, patching issues, login issues, security issues, failover issues, data issues, network issues, maintenance issues, data integrity issues, uh, expensive. Finally, you will get headache issues, right? So if I keep on, if I go ahead and keep on writing all these issues, you will get even this pain, this entire thing. It's gone, right? So these are all the things will be handled by the DBS. That's what I said. It's not the easy job. So guys, DBS, tell me, isn't it all these issues that we generally DBS handle it? Yes. No, the DBS are like, these are all issues generally uh, they'll handle it. Guys, what if now after AWS come into picture, you don't need to worry about all these things. All these things are completely managed by AWS with a service called RDS. Write down relational database services. What is the service name, guys? RDS. RDS. So RDS is a service. RDS is a service where you can set up and configure RDBMS databases. So, like how generally how we go to EC2 and set up virtual machines, I mean EC2 instances, the same way RDS is the place where you can go ahead and then set up this RDBMS databases instances. So here, instead of calling databases, we should be calling it as RDS DB instances. What do we call? RDS DB instances. And remember, this RDS supports only RDBMS databases. So Guys, and also the entire platform, you don't need to worry because, guys, you have to go and then create a DB instance that will be like this. This DB instance, and I'm telling you here, see, one thing before I go there, remember, RDS is not a database. It is a database service. No, I cannot do anything there. Raj. RDBMS is a relational database management service where it supports all your relational databases like your SQL, MySQL, all these are relational databases. So you need to Google it, Rajkumar. Okay, guys, RDS is not a database, it's a database service. Guys, what is that? It's a database service because RDS supports 6 engines. How many engines? RDS supports 6 engines. Those are MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, Postgres SQL, MariaDB, and Aurora. So these are the 6 engines that is supported by the RDS. MySQL, you know, it is open source. Oracle is from which company? MS SQL is for which company? Postgres, again, it is an open source. MariaDB is a community based. And Aurora, who is the owner of Aurora? AWS. So AWS proprietary database engine is Aurora. Okay. So it supports these engines, guys. These 6 engines. Right? All these are all RDBMS only. All these are all RDBMS databases. RDBMS only. In shortcut, you can remember like MOM PMA, right? If you want to remember those 6 engines in shortcut. Okay. So how does this work is basically AWS, you need to go to RDS and then you need to select, you need to click on create DB instance. So if you want to create a DB instance or engine, so you need to select one of the engine. So let's say you need to select engine. You need to select engine. Let's say, for example, you have selected MySQL. Okay. You selected the MySQL and then DB instance got created. DB instance got created. So guys, what you need to do is you need to have a client in order to connect to this engine, no? Right? Let's say for MySQL or Postgres, you need to have some client, no, in order to get connected. Is it possible to log into this DB instance, SSH, RDP and all? Answer is no. No. So this is an engine. So you will be having a client. Using the client, you connect to this engine and start working on the databases. But we'll go deeper when we go into this RDS later. So your entire engine is completely managed by? Yes, your engine is managed by, your platform is managed by AWS. Okay. Is it clear on RDS? That's why I said, don't say RDS is a database, is a database service which provides 6 engines, right? And all these engines will be there, whichever is required. And so if you ask like, sir, does it provide any other databases other than this? No, only the 6 engines it supports. There is also another service. There's nowadays people are migrating, right? From your on-premises Postgres, if you want to migrate to RDS, there is a service called DMS, Database Migration Service. What is that? Database Migration Service. Database Migration Service. That is a service which is used to migrate your on-premises engine to your RDS. We cannot really say which is the mostly used by the companies. Experienced people, can you tell me? Is that possible for us to say which database is mostly used? Definitely we cannot. It's purely depend upon the requirement. So if you really, I would say like Postgres, MySQL, because those are open source. Oracle, Microsoft, and all these things are license based. So people always go for the open source because they need to pay more money for the licenses. That might be a reason. Okay. Engine meaning a server with the Postgres installed. Okay. So guys, this is RDBMS database. Nowadays, many people are coming with something else, right? Which is called NoSQL. So many people started, boss, Prasanna, if you are not listening, I cannot help. Guys, I'm telling you, I can easily find out who can is listening and not listening. If you're simply saying mom PMA question mark Prasanna, I don't agree with this. If you're not listening, that's the reason why you're asking these questions. Please concentrate. Okay. Babu, understand. Okay. You no need to do the argument here. I'm just saying concentrate. Everyone knows, no? You're asking again mom PMA question mark, right? It's a shortcut for every letters, no? We already covered that. So the only thing what I'm asking is concentrate. Don't miss it. Okay. That's fine. There's nothing wrong to ask the question, but concentrate. So guys, next one is NoSQL. So NoSQL, nowadays many people started using this NoSQL concept. What is this NoSQL? Why we are using it all? We'll learn later. But guys, can you tell me what are the NoSQL databases that generally you guys are using nowadays, developers? Yes, you have MongoDB, right? Cassandra, right? And you have so many things, right? So CouchDB, yes, all these things. So in AWS also, there should be some service, no, which support NoSQL, and that NoSQL service that AWS support is DynamoDB. What is that? DynamoDB. It's a NoSQL database service which is purely used by the developers. This NoSQL database concept purely used by the developers, and this is serverless. There is no engine, there is nothing, everything is serverless. You just go and create a table and start using it. And these are non-relational. These are non-relational, right? And then, guys, what is database? We all know what is database. I'll write. Database is used to store the data, correct? Database is used to store. Can we say that database is store the huge data? Can we say that? No, right? So if you want to store the huge data, there's something called data warehouse. So it is used to store huge data. And which is that data warehouse in AWS which can store the huge data? And that is called Redshift. What's it called? Redshift. So that's a data warehouse in AWS. So if you want to use the huge data, then go ahead with this Redshift. So we don't need to go deeper there. Just one line is enough. So any questions on a data warehouse? So blindly you say that is Redshift. Got it? Got it, guys? Similarly, let me give this, guys. Let's say, for example, I have here Akshay. Okay. So many people might have this habit. So Akshay generally go to the Flipkart or Amazon, right? And he will always start surfing some his favorite items like mobiles, something. So whenever we go there, we have, we will search few things and then we'll start. So whenever you are searching for something, how does it go in the backend? It will go and hit the application server, no, in the backend. From application server, it will go and hit. It will go and hit what? Database server, correct? It will go and hit database server. And this database will have its own hard disk, correct? So this is the application server. Listen this carefully. This is DB server. And this is the hard disk of it. So whenever this guy started asking, first time he's taking the mobiles or some t-shirts. Second time, first time he went it, and then the request will go to this application server, correct? So request go to the application server. Application server, what he do? He'll contact DB server. Okay. From DB, he will connect to hard disk, pull the data, and hard disk will give back the data to the database, and then he will give the data back to the application server. Response back to application server. Okay. Sorry. This is how it works. Correct, guys? So first time he is asking that. Second time also he's asking the same data. Third time also he's asking the same data. Fourth time also he's asking the same data. When he's asking the fifth time also he's asking the same data. Because whenever he's asking the same data again and again, so can you just imagine if there is a face for this application server, how does he put the face? Arey bhai, why you are asking the same data again and again? So he is in frustration mode. Correct? So because he's asking the same data and again, application server will go mad. And how about the database? Database is the main guy who will go really mad because he need to go and pull the data again and again, same data again and again. Correct? He'll really go mad. Correct, guys? Correct. So instead of asking the same, so customer can ask any kind of data anytime, right? So here, instead of this database going and fetching the data from the hard disk, right? So all this frequently accessed data can be stored in one location now instead of going to the hard disk. Instead of going to the hard disk, we can store that data in some memory, correct? Can we call it as cache memory? Can we call it as cache memory? Yes. So all frequently accessed data, all frequently accessed data. All frequently accessed data is stored at this place. That is called cache memory. So here AWS is coming up with a service called Elastic. What is that, guys? Elastic Cache. Write down that service name. This service is a in-memory database caching service. In-memory database caching service. So this Elastic Cache supports two engines, guys. In this cache memory, it supports two. How RDS is supporting engines? The same way this Elastic Cache is supporting two engines. Those are, number one, we call it as Redis. Number two, we call it as Memcached. Okay. So guys, this is also a database, and this is also a database. But this database is a in-memory database caching caching databases. We call it as caching databases. So if you are using the same, if you're using the frequently accessed data in one place, and your application server is, now you tell me, instead of, now if mobile, so now Akshay is asking the 10th time mobiles, will he go to the database server and go and all the way to it, or no? Or it goes to the cache memory, get the data and give it back to this here. So what do you get out of it? Low latency. And also high performance, correct? High performance. So if at all you want to increase the performance like this, there is a concept called Elastic Cache. So you can use it as a database caching service. This is a database, guys. This is a database only, but it is used for caching purpose. Is it clear? Any questions? Let us stop it here. That we'll see later when we go deeper in Elastic Cache. Okay. Now take the screenshots. And by the way, I have asked someone, no, to who is the person? Who is the volunteer? I have asked to create a Rohit, no? Rohit, did you create it? The group link is ready. Okay, put that link here. So guys, this link should be used only